This is the Ricoh GR2. This is the Ricoh GR3. And now let's talk about everything we would like to see and everything we need in the Ricoh GR4. Hello friends, welcome to a new video in the new studio. As you can see, this is the first time we are shooting in this setup. I'm very pleased with it. I hope you are as well. As you can hear, we do have to make some adjustments when it comes to the audio quality because there's still a little bit of reverb in the room, but we do have some acoustic panels that will arrive in a few weeks, so I hope this will improve over time. If you are interested in the creation of this new studio, because we made a lot of improvements and a lot of investments, and I think now it is very cool. I made a video about it. It's on my channel. I'll link it down below. But with that being said, let's talk about the new Ricoh GR4, which is not yet announced, but my fellow Ricoh GR ambassador Samuel L. Streetlife has made a video about it. He talked about the must-haves, the wanna-haves, and some out-of-the-box ideas. And I do have some thoughts of my own, so I thought I would create a video, and I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys have some other ideas and well, let me know in the comments, because after all, it's a brainstorm. So let's talk about it. Let's go. Let's talk about it. First of all, please note that I do not have any inside information about the development of a new Ricoh GR. This video is just me being a fan of the camera and a GR enthusiast. If you have any thoughts about what you would like to see in a new Ricoh GR, let me know in the comments below. Let's start things off with some, in my opinion, must-haves for a new Ricoh GR. So the first absolute must-have is a flip screen. It's 2021, maybe when the Ricoh GR4 will arrive, it could be 2022, and a flip screen is a definite must-have. Personally, I don't even really mind if it will be an articulating screen or just a flip-up screen. I think ergonomically a flip-up screen would be a smarter thing to do, but we do really need a flip screen. The second must-have is better autofocus. The autofocus of the Ricoh GR3 is already pretty good, but the autofocus in the competing cameras is also very good. And especially in low light, the Ricoh GR3 sometimes takes some time to search for the proper focus. And I think in a newer model, this should improve, and I think it could improve. So that's must-have number 2, better autofocus. Then there's the back wheel on the Ricoh GR3. Some people say it has to go because they don't like it. Personally, I don't really think so, because I potentially like it, but it should just feel sturdier and it should just operate better, because I also had to send my Ricoh GR3 in for repair. Free of charge, of course, but this is not a good thing for a camera to have a wheel that is breaking constantly and which is not feeling very nice. Some people say go back to the ergonomics of the Ricoh GR2. I think it could be a little bit in the middle, but the rotating wheel on the back of the GR3 has to be improved. And then battery life. A new GR model should have a longer lasting battery, because I can shoot for a day with my GR3 on about 2 batteries, but I do think that a new model should have an improved battery to make it last a little bit longer. There was some discussion with when the GR3 just came out. The people said that the Ricoh GR2 had a better, longer lasting battery than the GR3, which is true, but the Ricoh GR2 did not have a touchscreen and it did not have IBIS, and those are 2 things that will take up and consume a lot of battery power. So I do think it's reasonable that the Ricoh GR3 had a little bit less battery time than the GR2, but I do think, however, that a GR4 should have at minimal the same battery capabilities as the Ricoh GR2, if not more. What else is a definite must-have? A shorter screen blackout. At the moment you press the shutter button on the Ricoh GR3, the screen goes black for a short amount of time. I think it's less than a second. But if we can make that even smaller, the experience of shooting will become much better, because the camera will feel much faster. Less than a second, of course, is not a lot of time, but if you are shooting in the street and you want to capture that decisive moment, the amount of time the screen blacks out should be shortened, if not erased completely, but I'm not sure that's possible. But shorten the screen blackout, yeah. And the last on my list of definite must-haves is better in-camera RAW development and better RAW development altogether. It would be very nice to have some piece of software which you can use as a plugin before you go into Lightroom to have all your LUTs and all your presets at the ready. But also in camera, it should be very nice to be able to use tone curves and to have more options when it comes to your RAW development. And also maybe a possibility to save your own LUTs inside the camera. That would be very nice. And that concludes my list of must-haves. And now let's jump into the nice-to-haves. What would really be nice to have is weather sealing. I'm sure this is something that a lot of you will have on their must-have list, but consider the fact that creating a weather sealed camera can be quite a challenge, especially because the lens is retracting or extracting when you turn the camera on or off. I do think that it will be hard to create a Ricoh GR that still operates like a Ricoh GR, but with full weather sealing. Maybe there is something in the middle where it is rain-proof, but not completely like waterproof, such as the previous iPhones or something. But weather sealing would be very nice. Only for me, not like at the expense of too many other things. So weather sealing, nice to have. What would also be very nice to have is more film simulations, such as Kodachrome, Velvia, especially the older positive film simulation, the legacy one from the GR2 and 1, I think. We need some more. We want some more. And I'm not sure if this is a copyright thing or how it really works, but the older positive film should really be in the new Ricoh GR, but some more film simulations would also be very nice to have. What I would also like is a battery indication in percentage, not like this small battery icon where you don't really see what's going on. Just give us the numbers. How many percentage do I have left? That should also be very nice to have. And I think this is not too hard to do. Sometimes I feel like I'm still shooting with a full battery, especially when I'm outside and it's cold. And then all of a sudden it drops down, and I was like 15 minutes ago it appeared full, and now all of a sudden it's almost empty. And having a percentage for me would be nice to have as well. And that brings us to the debate of megapixels. What is the ideal sweet spot for the new Ricoh GR when it comes to megapixels? Some people say it should be like 32 or 40 megapixels. Some people say it's enough. Some people say, well, it's enough unless you start cropping, then you get down to 16 or 14 megapixels depending on the crop. Is that still enough? We should consider the fact that more megapixels will probably have an effect on the noise performance, the ISO performance, but also how fast it will, like the write speeds of the camera. So yeah, well, creating more megapixels, I'm not so sure. I think 24 megapixels is enough. But more megapixels, if it will not impact the ISO performance and if it doesn't impact the write speeds, then some more would be nice, like 32 or something. Speaking of corruption, what would also be very nice to have is the reverse crop option, which some other cameras already have. And I think this is relatively easy because in my mind it's only software. You just don't bake in the crop. You still have the original file, and when you go into Lightroom and you decide that the original or the crop version rather is not good enough, then you should go back to the full image. So reverse cropping would be very nice to have. What would also be very nice is a way to lock your sensor when it's turned off. Because of the in-body stabilization in the Ricoh GR3, when you shake it when it's turned off, you can really hear it. And it feels like something is moving inside, because something is moving inside, but it feels like something is broken. And to be honest, it feels a little bit scary, like something is wrong. What would be nice is a way to lock this. So when you turn the camera off, you don't have any shaking parts, which will make the camera feel sturdier. And then the ongoing debate when it comes to the built-in flash. The Ricoh GR2 had a built-in flash. In the Ricoh GR3 they did not include a flash, and some people totally hated the Ricoh GR3 because of this. Personally, I didn't really use the flash in the GR2 all that much, although I did like that it was on there. So I'm in debate for myself whether or not the Ricoh GR4 should have a built-in flash. And I think it is a question of the available space in a small camera. And when it comes to using the space, I think in-body stabilization, weather sealing should be a better investment of the space than a built-in flash. And I think the debate can be quite easily solved when Ricoh decides to make a dedicated Ricoh GR flash, which you can use on your hot shoe. I think that would be very nice. A nice, sleek looking, compact camera mod. That should be nice to have. And of course, there are some other things which should be nice to have, although I don't think we will really miss it when it's not on there. Things like a faster aperture, maybe 2.0, 1.8, better video capabilities. Although the argument could be made that if you're using a GR, you just don't use a GR for video. There are other cameras you can use for video. This is a dedicated street photography camera, and I don't think we should branch out into all these other areas and it should competing. And that's where I really like the philosophy of Ricoh GR. It's the ultimate snap shooter. So let's keep it a snap shooter. If you could include some nice 4K crisp video quality, all right, nice to have, but definitely not a must-have because we can use video with other cameras or even your smartphone. And the last thing that would be very nice to have is, not in the camera, but in the box, a dual charger, an AC power charger for 2 batteries. That would be very, very nice to have. And that concludes the nice to have section of this video. And now we're moving on to the Elon Musk out of the box crazy ideas for the Ricoh GR4. The first thing in the out of the box Elon Musk crazy ideas that will probably never happen is something that I did not even consider myself, but Samuel started talking about it and now I can't stop thinking about it. It's the snap focus ring. It's a rotatable ring on the side of the lens, and you can use it to set up your snap focus. And if we are bringing up crazy ideas, maybe it would be cool to have it customizable so you can change some other settings with it as well. But this way you can on the exterior of the camera set up your snap focus distance, and I think this will be pretty damn brilliant. And I think this is something that Ricoh really could consider, because not only will it look very pleasing, it will also be a very nice addition to the snap focus distance, which in itself is a very nice feature of the Ricoh GR. So a snap focus ring would be very nice. And when we are on the subject, what could also be very nice is to have a small attachment where you can place your finger, so you can still operate it with one hand. So the idea is not mine, but I think this will, all in all, could be a very cool idea. So thank you for the thoughts, Samuel. I like it. What would also be very nice is a small display on the top of the camera to show you what settings, what program you are using, maybe what film simulation you are currently in. And it would be very cool if it's always turned on. So even when the camera is shut off, you can look on the top of the camera and see in what settings you are on. And this is something the Ricoh GR Digital, I think, already had in the past. What's the word? The past. So why not reintroduce it in the Ricoh GR4? Could be cool. Another cool idea is to have an EVF, an electronic viewfinder, which you can attach to your hot shoe. So it basically will be a mod, same as the flash I was talking about previously, only now an electronic viewfinder, like the Sony RX viewfinder, only then you can attach it to the hot shoe. I think this is something that should be sold separately, but I think a lot of people will like the option for an electronic viewfinder. And how about a different focal length, like a 40 or 50 millimeter Ricoh GR, the 50mm edition, the Nifty 50 edition, or the 35mm edition. A lot of people don't really like the 28mm. They think it's too wide for street photography. Personally, I do not agree, but another camera, another edition, two GRs in your pocket, one with the 40 or 50 mil and one with 28 mil. I think that will be very cool, and I think a lot of people will be very interested in that. And that brings us to the question, what focal point would be ideal for you? Would you like the 35, 40, 45, 50 mil? Let me know in the comments below. But the idea of having a separate Ricoh GR with another focal point is a pretty cool idea. And the last one on my out-of-the-box nice ideas is to have different looks altogether. I think it was last year when Ricoh released a GR Street Edition, a limited edition series. I think it sold very well, and a lot of people are, well, they want some limited edition, some customizability, and I think this could be nice for Ricoh to introduce different types of cameras, such as a chroma key edition, or maybe a camo edition, or maybe a blacked out altogether night edition where everything is black. Different options, different ways to customize your own camera, different rings, different colors, different straps, all Ricoh GR related. I think a lot of people will be interested in that, and I think it will be nice to see in what way other people set up their GR, because it internally is very customizable. You can pick up someone else's Ricoh GR and it will be set up completely different. So why not have that to the aesthetics of the camera as well? Why not more options to change the look of the Ricoh GR? And I know some of you will be thinking, who cares? It's camera. Why do you care what it looks like? But I know, I just like it. I like thinking about it, and I know a lot of people like thinking about this as well. So I think it will be nice, a nice idea for Ricoh to give us the options. So that's it for my thoughts about the Ricoh GR4. I know, thinking of all these other possibilities and all these things that could be in a new camera, well, they kind of make the Ricoh GR3 look bad, and that is not the case. The Ricoh GR3 is still my favorite camera, my go-to camera, and it is, well, it's on par or on top of the competition when it comes to dedicated street photography. So don't think that a Ricoh GR4 will solve problems the Ricoh GR3 can't, because it's a very nice camera. Well, that's about it basically. So that's it for this video. I hope you like it. Thank you for sticking around to the end, because it is a lot of talking and very little photography in this video. But for me, it's a good opportunity to test this way of talking to you guys in the new setup. I hope you like it. I hope you consider subscribing to this YouTube channel if you aren't already a subscriber. You can expect weekly videos from now on. So I will see you next week in a new video. Thank you for watching. Peace.